If you're newer to Jiu Jitsu or you're someone who's recently competed, you may have noticed that your grips burn out really quick, especially when you are grappling in the gi. Not so much no gi, but the gi. We're gonna cover why this happens, how to fix it, what your grip should look like, and a drill to maximize efficiency and performance. So if you're someone that struggled with grip strength or stamina specifically, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Now, if this isn't the first time you've seen my videos, this is actually part 3 of our stamina series, with the first 2 videos covering muscle tension for stamina and breathing for stamina. So if you're new to Jiu Jitsu or you just recently competed specifically for your first time, you probably noticed that you burned your grips out pretty badly. There's a lot of reasons for this, and we're gonna cover those. First off, adrenaline and death gripping. Adrenaline can be your best friend in short bursts of strength, whether that's trying to hit a PR on a bench or squat, or even something worse like deadlifting a small car off your friend after a car accident. This is when adrenaline really shines. Where it really hurts you is in a fight scenario, because it redlines your body the entire match. You don't really realize you're doing it till you're either gassed out or till after the match. And because of that, it's pretty hard to control. It's a adverse reaction to a stimulus you're not used to. I could make an entire other video on dealing with adrenaline. I already talked about this in a previous video with competing. I like to utilize ashwagandha as one out of many tips there, but also just competing more helps with the adrenaline response. But in the meantime, while you're getting to a place where your adrenaline response isn't so drastic, there are things we can do. One of the biggest things you can do is being aware of your grips while you have that adrenaline rush. If you pay attention, you're probably squeezing so unnecessarily hard on that sleeve grip or that lapel grip that you are burning your grips out within a minute or 2. That's what adrenaline does. It makes you really strong in short bursts, which isn't great, obviously, for fight scenarios. And keep in mind, if you're death gripping, you're probably not even utilizing correct form with the grip. And yes, there is a correct form. When you're death gripping, when you hook into the lapel or the gi sleeve, you're probably rolling your hand completely into a ball. And this motion here requires muscle. And that's why you feel the burnout happening in your forearms. This is not efficient. So the next part of this is we're gonna talk about how to grip. As we check the example, you can see I'm in here with my training partner, Ian, for the day. What I really want you to pay attention to is how I almost use a hook grip, right? If you pay attention to my hand, I am only curling the ends of my fingers. So not the knuckles that I would punch with, but the next set of knuckles up. This is where my fingers bend. Now, when I first learned this, it was almost impossible for me to get it right mentally. I could make my hand do this, but I couldn't get my hand to do this. This is something I had to become aware of and continuously try to use and practice while I sparred. Eventually it clicks, but probably not right away. So don't get frustrated if this doesn't work for you right away. Now let's look at what's happening when I utilize this grip. When I curl in from that second set of knuckles, I can feel some of my forearm muscles working. But if I curl in all the way and make a fist, I feel all my forearm muscles working. So the reason this is so efficient is because of the angle of the grip, right? It's almost a V. It's very hard to straighten these out once you curl these in, and it uses less muscle, which requires less oxygen, which helps with stamina. Checking the example, you see that I hook Ian's sleeve from the outside. I don't go inside because that's an illegal grip, and it's illegal for a good reason. There's ways that you can break your fingers there. You can get stuck inside the sleeve, and that's not good for you. So gripping from the outside, as the example shows, becomes very effective, and you get that little lip at the end of the sleeve, and it's almost like holding on to a pull-up bar in a way. It has that kind of stability once you get it right. And it's the same concept when I grab the lapel. As you see here, I'm reaching into the fabric and then curling my fingers around that lapel lip. I'm almost creating a rope for myself to hold on to, but I'm not balling my hand up. I'm leaving my palm open while that second row of knuckles grips around that lapel. Now, once you have the grip correct, you also need to know what you're doing with your arms, because you can make a correct grip easier to break by being stiff and rigid and using a lot of your muscle here. So as we check the example, I'm on my back. I'm hooking into Ian's sleeves. Now, Ian is a very big, strong guy. Once I hook in, if he pulls away and I also try to pull my arm back to myself, I'm creating double the pressure on my own hand, which in a way, I'm making my life a lot harder. Now, if we watch the example, Ian rips away really, really hard here. I leave my arm loose like a rope, but I leave my grip tight like a vice grip, and my hand goes with his sleeve. And in doing so, I've not only attached myself to him, but it's a lot harder for him to rip his hand away. If you are muscling your arm back to your body in the moment where he's ripping away, you are at least doubling the pressure on your own hand. So try to think about your arm as a rope. I'm trying to keep my arm loose. I'm not really engaging my lats here. I'm just trying to stay attached to him. And once you start to understand this concept, you will see frustration wash over your opponent or your training partner's face as they try to rip away and cannot. They'll have to start utilizing other techniques like wrist rolls and stuff like that. But you have to understand there's opportunity in that, because now I'm putting all his brain power onto breaking that grip. He is paying attention, priority number one, to breaking that grip. That grip has become a major problem for him while I'm not gassing myself out maintaining it. This is very strategic for me because now he's paying attention to that grip while I'm watching for submissions and sweeps. He's off guard. He's focused on that grip. So you can see how you can almost paint somebody in a corner mentally before you even do anything physically. Now, on the other hand, if I grab his lapel and he gets two hands on my wrist and begins to push my hand away from his lapel, I'm probably just gonna let go because it's not worth the energy to try to maintain that grip. He's gonna fight that grip off anyways. And if I try to clamp down on it, I'm clamping down on a losing battle. So you need to know when to let go and when to fight. Right, this is another big thing about grips. I see a lot of white belts will get a hold of my lapel. I get two hands on that wrist and I strip it away. And I feel them death gripping my lapel. And I know that you're burning your grips out. And I'll play that game. I'll let you get my lapel. If this is the game we're playing, I'm gonna let you burn yourself out because both of my arms are stronger than one of your hands. So again, know what battles to fight and which ones to let go of. That is Jiu Jitsu 101, and you're gonna see that principle or concept all over the place as you progress through your journey. Lastly, let's cover a quick grip drill. As far as grips go in the gi, it's fairly easy to get sleeve grips when you're on the ground, whether you're in guard, whatever it may be. The scenario I find most challenging, especially as a white belt, was getting a good lapel grip from standing. I remember feeling a bit clumsy with my grip. It was hard to get there quickly and then get a good grip on the lapel. And there's reasons for this. Your opponent can blade, they can block with their hands, they can tighten their lapel so you can't get it, they can cover the lapel as you go to grab. It makes it a difficult to hit moving target. With sleeves, they come to you. I'll let you grab me and then I'll get your sleeve. But that lapel, that's hard. So what we're gonna do is we check the example, is I'm going to reach and get a nice lapel grip. At first, I wanna go slow. I wanna enter slow. I wanna roll that lapel. I wanna get my hook grip with my hands. And once I have that, I'm going to then switch hands. And what I'm doing is I'm passing that grip to my other hand that gets a hook grip. And I'm just gonna do that back and forth, nice and slow until I can build up speed and do this efficiently. And you can use this as your warm-ups to class. You can use this on a training dummy at home. The whole goal here is to become so efficient, your hand becomes like a rattlesnake striking. You can pop that out really quick and grab that lapel without any clumsiness, without fumbling the lapel in any way, but it takes reps. So go slow at first. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? You have to be able to do this slow and correct before you can go all cool guy with it and be all fast, right? So try this drill next time you're warming up. I think you'll like it. It's fairly easy. It's a good way to get the blood pumping, especially once you are able to move quickly, and it will help your coordination so much. So as a recap, we're addressing adrenaline, and whether that's getting more exposure to competition, becoming aware that you are gripping really tightly, maybe using a little bit of ashwagandha. If that's something that works for you, this isn't medical advice, but if you are able to take ashwagandha, do your homework, guys. It can really help decrease that adrenaline dump so it's not so drastic and sharp. We're also learning how to grab the sleeves and the gi lapel with our hook grip, right? Utilizing good bone structure and anatomy so that we're not using a lot of energy, but we're being effective. Also leaving our arm loose, right? Our arm is a rope. The anatomy of our arm will do the work. If I pull while he pulls, I double the pressure on my hand, which isn't really effective. I'm just staying glued to him, and that's a big pain in the butt for him. And then lastly, playing with that grip drill I showed you guys. If you have any other information on grip stamina, efficiency, something that's worked for you guys in the past, drop it in the comments. We're all learning from each other, and you guys know I appreciate that. I'm still learning myself, And I've learned stuff from you guys. So drop it in the comments. You never know, I may choose your comment for a video. New videos every Monday. You know how we like to end them, sometimes backwards, always forwards. I'll see you in the next one.